Hey, good evening. Bonsoir, go often, and dobro veche. Welcome to That's Life with Evolution. I am your host, Evolution, and today I have a very special guest, Brofiki. Brofiki's in the house. How you doing, Brofiki?
I'm well. I am well. I can't complain.
Man, you are a hard person to catch up with.
I know we've been trying to do this for a while now, and
Yeah,
things finally settled down, and then time frame too. So it just
yeah.
worked out that I've been in one place long enough to be able to do this.
Hey man, I
So
really
thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, no problem at all. And I just kept persevering, and here we are. Good to see you again. And for those who don't know who you are, Brofiki, can you give a description of who you are and what you do?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I'm an architect. I create a lot of things.
Hmm.
Uh, Last couple of years, I've been focusing on photography, like in the music industry.
Hmm.
So concerts, music festivals, things like that. And lately, I've been doing things in the film industry. So we just had a
Ah,
movie that I was able to be the assistant director on, which is really
nice.
cool. We took home
Yeah.
5 awards, and my screenplay got accepted. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Whoa, that's
Uh,
incredible, man.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. Aside from that, parent, veteran, did the military thing for 8 years. Went to college for way too long to not get a piece of paper. I've traveled around everywhere. I do TikTok. That's how I started like getting on. That's how I got invited to my first podcast. Actually,
Oh
I do
wow.
have my own podcast. I do one with a good friend of mine, and yeah, that's pretty much. It's pretty good overview. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Congratulations on your screenplay, by the way.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. Uh, also, um, have you ever did anything with bodybuilding?
Yes, a big part of my life actually. I'm just getting back into it. It's funny you say that. Like literally, yeah, I did. I competed in bodybuilding and NPC in men's classic physique right
Hmm.
when it became a division. So it was in 2018
Okay.
actually. So men's classic physique. Trained for that. It was wonderful.
Wow.
Coolest experience of my life. That's really what kind of set the stage for everything and being in front of a camera
Mm-hmm.
for video because we had a documentary done. It's actually on
Hmm.
YouTube.
Wow.
Started working with companies like just bodybuilding changed my life, like fitness and everything. And I'm finally in a place where I can get back to it. So I just like, received my lifelong membership to EOS Fitness.
Isn't that something? That's great.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I did do bodybuilding for a long time too. I've done a lot. Now that I think about it, like I was a professional PC gamer,
Hmm.
top ranking Magic the Gathering player in North America.
Hmm.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, it just depends on like pick a year and I'll tell you what I was doing. But like every year, I've kind of just I don't know, man. Like it's a whole thing where it's cliche to say, but like parents will tell you you can do anything and you can be anything when you grow up. And I'm like, well, I don't want to grow up. I want to be everything now. And if I don't have a reason to say no and I'm interested in something, I'm just going to dive into it. So that's what I did. Same thing with
Wow.
bodybuilding.
Awesome, man. That's great. And that brings you to the stage to be like the perfect person for this episode.
All right. We're
Yeah.
in for something.
Yeah, man. So basically, on That's Life with Evolution, what we do is we pick a subject or a topic,
Okay.
and usually people are either on one side or the other, and we present information to kind of open their eyes up to where they can kind of meet in the middle or make things better for themselves.
Okay.
Uh, so today's topic is it's a long one. Uh, Eat, exercise, learn, feel, be healthy and happy facing the challenges that are behind it all.
Love it.
So, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a perfect subject for me to cover today. Like it really is. Okay.
Absolutely, man. So, the scenario that I'm gonna set it up with is: have you ever gotten excited about losing a few pounds and then lose focus. And then the next time you encounter the scale, you have a new addition of 5 pounds.
Sure have. Sure have.
um,
Oh, this is great.
what are your thoughts on that, man?
Okay, so there's a lot of misconception with a scale
Mm-hmm.
because, for instance, like when I first started my bodybuilding journey, I reached out to my coach, who I ended up hiring. I was with him for a few years, and we're
Mm-hmm.
still really close. But anyway, he had me send him progress pictures essentially to get started. So it was just like front, side, back,
Mm-hmm.
and although the scale read like 218 pounds, right? But I was
Mm-hmm.
like 28% body fat,
Wow.
right? And so we needed to work on the conversion of body fat to lean, dense muscle tissue.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like when I competed and stepped on stage, I weighed 191 pounds
Mm-hmm.
and I was shredded. But so, like, from a photo or a video, it looked like I was huge, but in real life, I was really small.
Mm,
But it's
okay.
just because you're sculpted, right? And so, when you see a fluctuation of 5 pounds, right? So I would weigh in every Sunday and do my pictures every 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
You have a fluctuation of water
Right.
as well of like whatever's in your digestive tract. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna fluctuate that 5 pounds daily. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so if you want true weight, it's first thing in the morning after you like empty your bladder
Mm-hmm.
and then step on the scale before you put anything in your body. That is true weight.
Got it.
Assuming you slept for a good amount of time as well, so your body can digest everything. So I was always do it like the same day every week to have more of an accurate reading.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but on the end of that, when I was done with bodybuilding, and I was getting ready to gain more mass for my next show, like I was
Mm-hmm.
220 pounds at like 10%, 12% body fat, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, I looked great and big in 220 versus when I was 220 before and I was 26% body fat. So it all comes down to like the scale doesn't matter unless it is accountable for something. Like then
Mm-hmm.
it's just a number. It's how do you feel?
Right.
How does it feel to look in the mirror and look at yourself, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of what a number is, right? Your
Exactly.
BMI, your body weight, like that doesn't matter. It's just, are
Mm-hmm.
you healthy?
So that brings me to a question because I'm curious. How did you shrink your body fat?
Okay. So, man, it's like, sorry, let me move this. Um, at 6 weeks to the stage, my meal plan changed a lot. So like
Mm-hmm.
macros, so macronutrients, right? So you got your carbohydrates, you've got your protein, and you have your fats, so healthy
Mm-hmm.
fats.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that people like don't consider is that for me on my plan, 18% of my carbohydrates had to be fiber. So high fiber,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. So on macros, it's like you're just tracking whatever you're consuming. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really matter as much until that
Mm-hmm.
6 weeks out. And we switched everything over from like no dairy, no red meat. So it was just white meat and
Mm-hmm.
so fish and chicken,
Mm-hmm.
or like lean ground turkey,
Mm-hmm.
uh, higher intake in vegetables for fiber, things like that. And so it really is all about what you consume. But this is the crazy thing. It's not when you eat less, you have to eat more.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest misconception is I'm eating a lot of food 6 times a day,
Uh-huh.
and it would come down to the end of the day and I'm like, I can't eat anymore. Like it's Thanksgiving every damn day for the first 2 weeks. Like you have to eat so much food
Mm-hmm.
because all right, here's an analogy that worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Your body is a coal burning train at a complete stop when you wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was told to drink 32 to 48 ounces of water upon waking up. It's like pouring gasoline into the tank or starting that match to light the coal for the beginning to get that going, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was 32 ounces to 40, yeah, 32 to 46 ounces of water, like first thing in the morning. Like, so I had a cup like right by the sink and I would chug it, and that was hard too. But that
Wow.
was to get all the fluids going in your body, kind of like when you start a car, like let it warm up. Same concept with your body.
Wow.
And then within 1 hour, I would consume my first meal. Now I can't eat when I first wake up, like first 2-3 hours. Like it just doesn't work for me. So what I would do is I would make a shake, but not in just any shake. I would do like 2 scoops of protein because it's 42 grams of protein because I was on high protein. But then I would do a whole cup of oats or a whole banana for carbs in the blender because it was easier to drink than to eat.
Right.
So like for people that are having a hard time getting their meals in, like I would do 2 of those a day. So I don't have to physically eat so much. Is what helped with me. And so eating more will help you actually gain muscle and burn through everything that your body hasn't metabolized yet.
As long as you're eating the right stuff.
To a point. This is a taboo subject. This is interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I ate breakfast 3 times a day.
Really?
Yes. So most people are like, oh, you shouldn't be eating simple sugars, right? Like, but I did, and I got shredded AF, man. And I did that eating. So every time when I was done with the gym, I would eat a bowl of cereal, but I did true to serving. So if it was like 3/4, and I had a weight scale too. So it'd be like 1 serving of, so my favorite cereal at the time, it was Frosted Flakes Lucky Charms. It was Frosted Flakes with Lucky Charms marshmallows. It was an actual box.
Wow.
And yeah. So I would do 1.5 cups of that with 2 cups of almond milk right when I got home from the gym, while I was cooking 6 strips of bacon. And I was going to do 1 cup of Kodiak cakes, which is protein powder, waffle mix, whatever.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And then I would do 1 cup of egg whites, 2 whole eggs for the fats from the good cholesterol from the yolks. I would do 2 Carb Master tortillas and one cup of Monterey Jack cheese. So like that was my post-workout. So I would eat cereal, and then within 30 minutes, I'm eating all of that. And then I would eat Pop-Tarts later, or like protein ice cream every single night. And I recorded the entire thing. Like I documented the entire thing. And I was able to do that to hit my macros until 6 weeks out. And then you cut that stuff. But the point is you can do it. The whole point of it is consistency. If you're eating the same thing every day, but your output as far as physical activity is increasing, your water intake is increasing, you're starting to take more supplements, you're starting to be more timed, you're starting to understand your body, and then also cardio, right? I wasn't doing an hour, 2 hours of cardio every day. The most cardio I ever did was 35 minutes steady state.
Wow. So your key was eating.
It was just eating.
Wow.
And eating a lot.
Nice.
For me.
Okay, so that brings us to Leia's question. Leia's question usually gets us going in the direction that we need to go on our show. So right now we're going to do the introduction to Leia's question, and then we're going to jump right into it.
Okay, sounds good.
So we go ahead.
Is it right now? Okay.
All right. So once again, we are here with Brofiki, and we are talking about eating, exercising, learning, feeling, and being healthy and happy, and dealing with the challenges of it all. And Leia's question today is, eating a balanced diet is expensive, and people have become less active. So with that in mind, how does one or everyone overcome these challenges to achieve the total and complete happiness with their health?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I disagree. It's actually it is so much more inexpensive to eat chicken, steak, eggs, fish, rice, oats every day. The only thing that was really expensive would be like the 5-pound tub of 100% whey isolate protein. That was it. And that's just because protein did increase a lot. It got up to like $120 like for a 5-pound thing. Right now it's like $70 for, I know, because I just picked one up yesterday or 2 days ago. because
Mhm.
I'm getting back on this. This is so funny. This is like my little motivation to do it.
Yeah.
But no, man, like if you have a Costco membership or a Sam's Club membership, right? So like once a month, I would go. I mean, chicken's what? It was like $1.99, $2.99 a pound, and so like you'd get like the thing. It's got like 6 of them
Mhm.
packages of the chicken
Mhm.
breasts, right? And so like
Mhm.
that's like $25, right?
So
That would last me
so
2 weeks.
so do you get the fresh or the frozen?
I would. They're like packaged. They're non-frozen because
Okay.
because you can cut them in like in the things and then put them in the freezer. There we go.
Right, right.
Steak I would get from a local grocer, Smith's market. So Smith's is like the like Kroger,
Mhm.
depending on where you're at.
Mhm.
I would get steak there because they had petite sirloin, and I would just look out for it when it went on sale because sometimes the package would have a $10 off package, and I would stack up on them. Like I'd buy like 4 or 5 at a time and just put them in the freezer. So
Okay.
I would get like I would get like 3 pounds of uncooked steak for like $15.
Nice.
So I do one Costco trip a month, one Smith's, and then I would just get chicken and my tilapia from Costco. I'd get
Mhm.
steak from the grocery store. So it's just kind of like playing around with prices, right? That's going to be the
Mhm.
most expensive thing that you buy from the store. Now,
Mhm.
other than that, it's like I would do jasmine rice. So I'd buy a 5 pound bag of it and it's like $10, right?
Okay.
That's going to
Uh-huh.
last me 2 months because I can, you only get
Yeah.
so much rice. Same thing with oats. I would just get the, store brand thing of old fashioned oats,
Mhm.
bananas, peanut butter, natural peanut butter, right? So like you only have to buy those like once a month. So my
Mhm.
grocery bill was like 250 for the month for just me for all of my food to eat that much. Is
Wow.
that a lot? No, that's like less than $10 a day.
Wow. When you put it like that, yeah. I mean,
Less than $10 a day for 6 meals. And that's just for
mhm.
grocery bill, right?
Mhm. Right.
Supplements would be about 100, 150. So like but those are supplemental. You don't have to do it. I just don't like eating vegetables. So like I would
Mhm.
buy like a green supplement of powder
Mhm.
and put that in with my drinks.
Okay. So you're right on target with it doesn't have to be expensive.
Correct.
Uh, and you are what you eat. We hear that all the time. What are your thoughts on that statement? Because I say that because
I don't like it.
you,
I
okay,
don't like that statement.
okay. Why?
Um because like for the last year and a half, I intermittent fast and carb backload. So like
Mhm.
I don't eat at all until the hour before I go to bed, right?
Wow, really?
Every day.
Okay.
I'm trying to transition back into that because I'm gonna be exerting more energy and calories throughout the day, and I need the energy to push past plateaus in the gym. And when it comes to like lifting weight and stretching your fascia tissue for your muscle tissue to grow and things like that, there's a lot that goes into it.
Okay.
Um, However, it's like there are people that eat once a day that are just like, um, what would be the term without offending the entire world? Thick fit, thick fit.
Okay. Okay.
So that's a thing, right?
It
It's a
is. It
body type,
is.
it's a style, meaning like people don't work out, but they don't eat horrible. But when they eat what they want, but they don't overindulge, but they're only doing it once a day. So it's like I can eat pizza every day and not gain a pound. Like
Wow.
I got down a whole pizza every day and like a Starbucks coffee, whatever. And I'm not going to gain a pound because my body is so used to consuming 3,200 calories a day, 4,000
Right.
calories once a week. And you have those spikes. And so like once a week, I would consume more. So it
Hmm.
would spike your body, your insulin. So it goes into overdrive for metabolism. And then you go back to your normal. And
Hmm.
so it's like you're tricking your body all the time as like your phone or like, your computer when most people only restart their phone or their computer when they have to do an update.
Right.
But
Right.
if you do it before the update, it's just going to run smoother. Your body is the same way.
Hmm. Interesting.
So you aren't what you eat. You are what your output is equivalent to.
Ooh, nice.
Your mental output, your physical output, your emotional output is represented by your physical body, in my opinion.
Bang. It's
So
that's you on target, man.
yeah, I mean, you are what you eat. Okay, here's the thing. You are what you consume.
Hmm.
Okay, so like you consume music, you consume video, you consume the news, a book, you consume conversations, you partake in conversations, you partake in everything that you decide to do is what you consume. You are a direct reflection of what you consume, period.
Exactly.
That is the statement. That I work through it.
Exactly. That is perfect response. I couldn't ask for a better response to that
Oh, thanks, man.
because you're just punching every single dot that I got here.
I'm not trying to. I like literally just like here you go.
No,
Like
no, no.
that's what I was
I,
like. Nope,
I,
that doesn't sit right. Let me rephrase that for you. But
no,
again,
you
that's
you're
just my
phrasing
perception.
everything perfectly. I try to design everything like that, but I mean, you're just like boom. It's like you're reading from my notes here.
I'm not. I promise. That would be weird. Like, yes, I
Yes.
am everywhere. I could see what.
So yeah, so basically, we're talking about eating.
Yeah,
So what is the best thing to eat? I know you mentioned fish, which is way up on the list of eating healthy.
yeah.
Um, and then you mentioned you don't like veggies, but you do
Nope,
take supplements.
I do. I
But
mean, I do eat some vegetables, but only in specific dishes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Explain,
Okay,
elaborate.
so I've hated broccoli my whole life. Um,
Really?
but I knew that I needed like the vitamins that broccoli had.
Uh huh.
So I would only eat broccoli if it was in a mixed bowl, like a stir fry almost. So I would do
Oh,
jasmine
okay.
rice, a cup of jasmine rice, and put it in a big bowl. And then
Hmm.
I would take 8 ounces of cut up steak and put it in there. So like the juices from the seasoning on that, and then broccoli, so I could eat that together. Or if it was with chicken, I had to use
Hmm.
buffalo sauce.
Interesting. Get
So
some
I would,
spice in there.
yeah, it was just really weird because I've never liked buffalo sauce, but like
Hmm.
buffalo sauce on chicken. Oh, that's what it was. Because the chicken with broccoli, I would use Jersey sweet potatoes. So they're yellow sweet potatoes,
Uh huh.
not yams, which are
Okay.
orange. So they're
Right.
yellow sweet potatoes, which is a
Hmm.
cross hybrid between a regular potato and and a yam.
Hmm.
So they were sweet, but they had the consistency of a regular potato.
Uh
So
huh.
that's what I could do. And so between the sweetness and the spicy, I could consume broccoli.
Huh.
Um,
Interesting.
but
You
yeah,
just
broccoli was really the only vegetable that I ate for the entirety of the 16 weeks.
wow. And you know what's funny?
What's that?
The vegetable that I have listed here is broccoli.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say broccoli, it would be the number one vegetable that I would recommend eating, and asparagus. But asparagus can be pricey.
Hmm.
And then I like normally, okay, and then for fruits, I'd say avocado. So I would do
Hmm.
avocados as well. So avocados and broccoli and
Hmm.
asparagus. If they're green vegetables, I say good.
Right. Absolutely.
Folic acid,
Absolutely.
man.
Hmm. Um,
B12 vitamins.
there you go. Good for the body. And then the next one I have is beets.
Nope.
You don't do beets? You don't like beets?
No, I actually got like reprimanded at Thanksgiving dinner from my great aunt, so my grandmother's sister about this. She's like, you're not a part of the family. You don't eat beets." I'm like, "Nah, man, beets, radishes, olives, no," because I was terrorized as a kid
Oh,
with
is that
them
what it
from
is?
my
Okay.
cousins.
Well, let me
Yeah,
give you
being chased around the house with like olive finger. Nah, I'm good. Nope.
let me give you a little information that I found when I looked up beets.
Okay.
It's one of the very few things that you can eat any color beet or any part of the beet, and it will give you the nutrients that you need for your body.
Okay.
So it improves endurance exercise.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, any part of the beet that you eat, whether it's the leafy part or the root, uh, any part of it, you will get those vitamins.
Okay.
That was very interesting to me because you usually don't see that in anything, but that's one of the things that you can eat any
So
part
beets
of
are
it.
like one of the most nutritious vegetables. Then. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I can get behind that. I can agree with that, but I still don't like them and I don't prefer them.
Okay,
It beats
so
me.
right, and then next we have spinach.
Love it.
Uh,
I actually thoroughly enjoy spinach.
mhm.
But raw baby spinach is what I would throw
Okay.
in my shakes. So I would do a banana peanut butter shake with vanilla
Mm-hmm.
protein
Mm-hmm.
and spinach because you
Okay.
can't taste it. It's green,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't taste it. So yeah.
Because the taste is kind of just not overbearing when you
Yeah,
add it to
spinach
something
doesn't
else.
really have a taste, in my opinion. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't really taste like anything. I mean, it's not like canned spinach, like when we were watching Popeyes, or Popeye the Sailor growing up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. But like baby spinach and like packaged, like yes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could do that.
So, and this particular vegetable is good for macular degeneration. In other words, eye disease
Yep,
that
I'm very
causes.
familiar with that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's very good for that. And the point that I'm getting to is the vegetables that I'm mentioning here are good for health reasons. And people sometimes blame it on age. I'm getting
Okay.
older. I can't see very well, or I can't,
Mm,
things
okay.
like that.
Yeah, I see what
But
you're saying.
yeah. But when you eat properly and or eat the right things that are good for the body,
Mm.
you can probably eat more and burn weight. You know what I'm saying? Like you said in your training. So the next one on here is kale, and that helps lower cholesterol. Do you like kale? Have you ever eaten kale?
Yeah, I have. Not my favorite. It's not my. Yeah, no.
Mhm.
No. I mean, I could do like romaine lettuce, but like kale, it's too waxy. So I'm a texture guy, right?
Got
So
it,
like I
got
can
it.
only eat things texture, and that's like, oh man, I ate so much chicken and so many eggs that like the consistency like got to me. I couldn't eat them anymore. I had to like
Wow.
retrain myself to eat it because I ate so much of it.
Hmm.
Um, maybe that's why I went vegan. Like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
indirectly went vegan. It wasn't intentional. It's
Hmm.
just I stopped eating meat because I didn't like chewing it because it just, yeah, it was just really weird.
Huh.
So yeah, I'm a consistency. So kale, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but
Like
it does help lower cholesterol.
it does.
Uh,
There are so many foods that are like good for you all around. Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you already mentioned peanut butter, um, which
Yes.
we do have people who have allergies or whatever. But
Hmm.
if you don't, peanut butter is actually it was listed as a great recovery food. You being a bodybuilder, does that make sense to you?
So it would be the unsaturated fat in peanut butter that's good for you
Mm-hmm.
because you need to consume a decent amount of saturated and unsaturated fat every day to
Mm-hmm.
help the protein be transported to the mitochondria to the
Mm-hmm.
cells.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Man, it's so cool to talk about this stuff. Like oh man, I used to coach people. I used to train people. I used to like NASM certification, like all of that stuff. But like, it just hasn't been relevant in my life in the last 4 years. But like,
Wow.
I went to school for this stuff too, like on
Uh-huh.
top of everything. But I've just
Mm-hmm.
never got to share it. So this is kind of neat.
Well, there you go.
Um, but yeah, essentially, like you have to have fats to help transport the protein to your red blood cells, and you need that so you have more oxygen in your cells so they can expand, duplicate, or replicate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that your muscle tissue can even grow. So
Absolutely.
if you aren't, it's like you have to hit your bare level um, intake to even just replenish your body every day, but like you need to consume more because you need more water in the blood cells to expand.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Boom.
want to have water retention, but you need fats to help it because your body doesn't digest fats as quickly as it does everything else. So yes, your body will stay in a state of longevity with metabolizing what you have eaten to
Mm-hmm.
offset your caloric output. Um, so yes, they are necessary. Fats are not bad for you. So like healthy fats, avocados, for
Mm-hmm.
example, peanut butter, great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Steak. That's why I eat steak every day because steak had good healthy fat in it, depending on the cut, right?
Right,
That's why
exactly.
I did
Exactly.
petite sirloin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did ground beef for a long time
Mm-hmm.
because I would do salads when I was eating a lot of like greens. I
Mm-hmm.
would do ground beef in my salad with like this mandarin orange dressing because
Nice.
low calories, you know.
Right.
So,
And so next we have almonds. Um,
almonds are great.
yep, they are.
Almonds are great. If you don't have an allergy to them, by all means. Almond butter. You can get natural almond butter at like Winco
mhm,
or any like health food store.
mhm.
Like literally fresh ground. It's so cool.
Um, and then there's mangoes. What are your thoughts on mangoes?
Hate 'em. I hate tropical
Yeah,
fruit.
really? Oh
Hate them.
wow, oh wow. With the research that I found, it kept
I'm so
mentioning.
stingy when it comes to food, man. I really am. And I'm realizing this right now talking to you about this because I'm like, nope, 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 nope,
But you know
shit.
the benefits behind if you do like fruit or you if you don't like fruit like yourself,
Uh-huh.
um, it's very beneficial. I mean, I couldn't believe how much it was talking about eat more fruit, eat more veggies. Uh, I mean, that's like all I got for the most part when I was doing my
I hardly
research.
ate any though. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't have to eat a lot of that stuff. It's just like stop eating the garbage that you're eating and
Hmm.
substitute it with these things instead. I
There
could
you
see
go.
that,
Uh
but
huh.
you don't have to maintain that.
Well, you know, I mean, it's low in calories and it's high in fiber.
But it's okay. Okay, this is the thing. You need to eat more food. It's not about calories. It's about macros. I don't care
Okay.
how many calories are in something, how
Hmm.
many carbohydrates, how much protein, and how many grams of fat are in it. Download the
Hmm.
free app. Like I use MyFitnessPal. There's a
Hmm.
lot of different things. Do the free version. Like literally you can scan anything and everything, but like this will teach you discipline, serving size, and you can track your stuff. And I tell everybody, do this for 7 days
Hmm.
and then track how you feel, journal it. Like most people aren't willing to do the legwork or to like to write anything down because most people won't write down their thoughts and feelings in journal.
Hmm.
What makes you think they're going to do that with food? Well, the problem is most people that want to like lose weight or whatever
Hmm.
is because somebody else told them something that made them doubt themselves, that made them feel insecure in their own body and skin. So they want to do it to impress those other people that are saying what they're saying, or
Right.
they want to better themselves because they just went through something traumatic. They need something to focus on. So fitness is the first thing. That's what happens with breakups. That's why we have glow ups, right? And
Hmm.
it's like,
Uh-huh.
well, why didn't you do that when you're in the relationship? It's because you weren't traumatized, right? Like you know, or let's say you're trying to court somebody that's more attractive than you. So now you're going to get a better state of mind, a better state of emotional health, a better financial state. So you actually
Hmm.
have more when you come to ask to sit down at their table.
Hmm.
But other than that, usually it's a doctor. They'll be like, "Hey, you're not doing well. You have to do something about this, or like bad
Right.
things."
Right.
So it's like, why does somebody want to get in shape? You know, or
Hmm.
what? Honestly, round is a shape. So
There you go.
I'm in shape. Round is a shape. Grant, I'm so small, right? My waist size is 29. I've always had a small waist, but
Hmm.
like my leg after my knee surgery, my legs. I used to have massive legs. Like I'll send you some pictures or like from my bodybuilding show or whatever.
Hmm.
Like my legs won the stage, won it. And
Wow.
like I'm a novice, never competed before. Like my legs were the best. And I'm
Hmm.
like, because I had to train differently because of all of my back injuries.
Right. Right.
And then everyone would ask to train legs with me. Like all the guys, all the girls in every gym, like, can I train legs with you? And they're like, how do you do this? I'm like, well, I just do these other exercises that no one else does because I can't do the ones that you normally do.
Wow.
so
So
so it was just kind of funny. Yeah.
you just literally hit on something that's coming up later.
Perfect.
So I'll
Promise I'm
keep.
not reading your notes.
So the next thing I have here is blueberries. Um, do you like
Okay.
blueberries?
I do like blueberries. I don't like eating them, but if blueberries are in something,
Hmm.
I will eat them.
Okay. And those are
Yeah,
very good and have beneficial.
absolutely. Blueberries are like the bomb.com. That's
Yeah.
why it starts with a B. But are they really blue? Because they should be called indigo berries.
You're right. They're not exactly blue.
They should be
uh,
indie berries. Why are they? They're not blue.
mhm. um, so you mentioned you were vegan earlier. You were vegan,
Unintentionally.
right? Right. So did you explore with the Mediterranean diet any when you did that?
Can you elaborate on what that is? And I
It's
mean, it's possible.
basically mostly lean meat and a lot of veggies.
So paleo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, technically.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like I let myself go for a while. I was going through a lot. And
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
like I just didn't care about taking care of myself. I didn't care to go to the gym. I didn't care to like eat anything. Like I would just whatever. But
Hmm.
then I realized it was a superpower, and then I started doing research on it. It's like you can do a water fast for 7 days and not consume anything. And like what happens is your body will actually like eliminate all of the toxic waste in your body, and
Hmm.
you enter your state of ketosis where you get the metallic taste in your mouth, whatever. And so like keto
Hmm.
diets are very popular, right? But
Right.
when you enter a state of ketosis, like your brain operates at like, let's just say, for example, 1% more than what science says.
Uh huh.
Um, but if you do that consistently for a long period of time, it's you're allowing your brain, your pineal gland, to start releasing micro deposits of DMT.
Hmm.
And you have this connectivity between the left and right brain when you're in ketosis. So that's why monks as spiritual leaders, that's why like so many people, or like even in any organization for religion, they'll fast every so often to like pray,
Uh huh.
because you're more in tune with heightened senses. So heightened awareness, heightened everything, better decision making.
Hmm.
So it is good to eat things that are naturally made. Absolutely. Am I fully organic? Do I only eat grass-fed stuff? No,
Hmm.
I don't. Should you? I mean, if that's your thing, man, go for it. Like, I still think chicken nuggets are fake. They're like pink foam in a factory. I don't know, but I like them, right? I know smoking is bad, but I love hookahs, and that's why I owned ruthlesshookah.com with two of my best friends.
Hmm.
And shisha tobacco is like 0.005% nicotine and tar, like, or 0% tar. I'm like, it's way better than smoking a cigarette, but most people don't know that. But I enjoy it for the
Hmm.
social aspect. Plus, it when you have like insane ADHD like I do, like it helps me stay grounded and sit down at my computer so I actually get stuff done.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you can know things are bad for you, but you can enjoy them.
As long as you don't overdo it, right?
Exactly.
Which leads me directly to my next one.
Overindulgence. Yeah,
Chocolate is considered health food. Did you know that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Cacao and dark chocolate. I actually did my first cacao ceremony in February of this year.
Hmm.
It was disgusting, but very euphoric because
Okay.
it's like 100% like cacao, like chocolate,
Hmm.
with a few other ingredients that are all natural and legal. Like,
Hmm.
and we had these shamanistic. I don't believe in shamans or gurus or whatever like that. It's just like shamanistic, like ritualistic things
Hmm.
that people have picked up from other countries that they brought back
Hmm.
to the US, and they're like, hey, this is all like pure antioxidants, like health stuff, like it's gonna help you, whatever. But like it does give you like this sense of like crazy euphoria. You're like, oh man. So yes, but like the darker the chocolate, the better. But most people can't stand it because it's bitter.
Yeah, it has a different taste to it for sure.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel about quinoa? Am I saying it
Love
right?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, quinoa. Hmm.
So
Love
that
it.
so
It's
that's
great.
so that's good for your what you're training and all that.
Yep. So I'd switch it up between grains because
Hmm.
there are so usually when you go eat somewhere, it's like, do you want white rice or brown rice? And I'm like,
Hmm.
do you have jasmine rice? Because it has a sweet texture and it's
Hmm.
softer.
Ah,
So
okay.
like when you go, there's balsamic rice, there's jasmine rice, there's yellow rice, there's wild rice, there are so many different strain or
Hmm.
types of rice, right?
Right.
Same thing with everything. Like do your
Yeah.
research, like look into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have it. Like I just put all my books together, but like I have a book that was like it was like Men's Health. Got this years
Hmm.
ago, and it like actually gave like a breakdown of every fruit, every grain, like all the way through of like what you should eat and like what it has in it and why you should do it.
Hmm.
And that's why I based what my meal plan was, because I don't like the term diet. Most people don't. It's like, what
Hmm.
is your plan? Do
Right.
you have a
Right.
plan? Execute, follow through, you'll see results rather
Absolutely.
than just winging it. That's the thing is, going back to your statement on overindulgence, you have to first determine what your boundaries are and what your
Hmm.
limits are. And if you don't understand the limit or the boundary, then overindulgence is also underindulgence. So you have to know what your baseline daily consumption needs to be of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And establish that through trial and error. This is why we ask questions like this. This is why we talk to friends, family, doctors, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a baseline idea of what's going on. But like, literally, it's just like, figure something out and then tweak it. But you have to track it so you can look back to like assess what was working and what wasn't, what was, ideal and what wasn't. Like, when did you have better sleep patterns? When did you have better energy? When did you have emotional outrages of a teenager going through puberty again, or like a toddler that's throwing a fit because they're too tired? Like, that happens.
Right.
And it's like, oh man, when I cut dairy out of my diet, I didn't realize I had a lactose intolerance until I eliminated dairy from my diet.
Seriously? Wow.
Yep. And now I can't. It makes me sick. But until that moment, I had no idea. But I've never cut dairy out of my life, and it was because I was retaining too much water weight, and that's when it's my body was having a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
and it was inflammatory in my intestines, and so it made me appear bigger, and I carried more water weight when I was eating cheese, Greek yogurt, things like that. And then granted, I still do those things occasionally, but every day to none.
Wow. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because you
Go ahead.
mentioned do research and whatnot. Is it legumes? Legumes? Am I saying it right?
Legumes, yeah.
Yeah,
Beans,
thank you. Yeah, right. So when I looked that up, there's like over 400 different types of beans.
Yeah, there is.
And legumes is over 16,000 species of that. So yeah, man, like you said, it's do your research and find out what's out there, because there's plenty of stuff out there that you can consume for your health and make things better for you. Definitely, if you're training or you just want to lose weight, get things a little tighter. you know.
Can we rephrase that?
Yeah,
Can I
go
suggest
ahead.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So instead of somebody like losing weight or getting in shape, how about we start saying like feeling better in our bodies?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Like, whatever that looks like for you to feel better in your body, do that.
Okay.
If that is going to exercise, if that's like cleaning up what you consume and what you eat, that's great. But like, there are so many people out there that have insecurities about weight and numbers. Just eliminate it. Eliminate it. How do you feel? What can you look at yourself in the mirror in your underwear and feel confident and secure in your body? I can. I'm a fuck yes guy. Like, and if I'm not, then I'm failing myself, right? Like, I challenge everybody and anyone that's listening to this now or later to do that. Go the next time you go to take a shower, like, just look at your body in the mirror and how do you feel, and take a Sharpie, an expo marker, and write it on your mirror in your bathroom. And that's your reminder to yourself from your past self the next day when you wake up. And that should be your motivation.
Wow. Strong move. I like that.
Dude, I'm in this like divine dark masculine energy right now, and this is a completely different story. But like, I am so fed up with the BS of everything and everyone, and I'm just calling it as it really is. That it's factual, that I can back up. But that's what it comes down to. Like, you need to lose weight, or you need to you're fat. It's like, no. How about you transform? You're a caterpillar right now. You're the caterpillar in a bug's life.
Yeah, because
he's a chubby bunny, bro.
Yeah, because we all have different shapes and forms, right?
Yes, metamorphosis is imminent. It's going to happen. It will happen. You will have a cocoon phase, and you won't even know what's going on. It doesn't even matter. And then you go through some crazy transition of some trauma. Now, trauma is not negative. People associate trauma with losing weight. Same thing. No, trauma is something you can't process. So when you go to the gym for the first time, it's traumatic on your body. You're going to wake up sore as hell the next day.
Yeah.
But after doing that repetitively, you won't be sore, right? That's trauma.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my take on that.
Okay, so let me go here, because you had me thinking about something that I dealt with when I do some of my extreme workyes. Do you ever cramp up or get Charlie horses or whatever?
Yeah, because
yes.
Yeah.
So is there a way to minimize that or eliminate it completely as you're working out? Because me, for instance, when I get going, I'm all in. You know, I'm just going to push and
Yeah.
push till I can't push anymore. Um, but
Okay.
then, of course, that leads to muscle fatigue and overexertion and whatnot, and soreness. And
Okay.
the worst thing to do is wake up with the Charlie horse going off on you.
Okay. Well, for me, no, I have a rare skin and blood disease. I
Hmm.
have Raynaud's syndrome and
Hmm.
what's the other thing? It's pretty much varicose veins throughout my body.
Okay.
So I get Charlie horses and cramps all the time, regardless of like my intake. So
Hmm.
for me, it's like I have to stretch, I have to go get deep tissue massages, things like that. But like that's
Hmm.
not your average person. Um, easy. I would take a supplement that was magnesium and potassium and zinc.
Okay.
No, it's magnesium and potassium in one pill from GNC. So that
Okay.
helps. But secondly, during your workout, you should have an intra-workout drink, right? And so it's EAAs, essential amino acids. So that's flavored, unflavored, whatever, and you just put it in your water, and that's what you should consume. So that's also helping your body stay hydrated during your workout so you don't have those issues.
Okay.
So essential amino acids, drinking it during your workout. So like every time I would be done with a set, I would take a sip of my drink every time.
Okay. Got it.
So you get into that, and so like you're keeping hydration in the muscles, and the
Hmm.
fascia tissue can stretch and expand, so you don't have those issues. But
Hmm.
secondly, if you do have a magnesium or a potassium deficiency, you'll also incur, muscle cramps, Charlie horses. It happens for me like in my calves and my feet, mostly at night. So I would have to take something for muscle spasms, but that's irrelevant
Got
to
it. Got it.
going to the gym.
Hmm. So I'm gonna skip a couple and come back to them if there's time. Um, but I want to get into the times that people are considered good times to eat.
Okay.
Uh, like for instance, breakfast. Uh, Statistically, or with the research that I found, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Lunch between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. and dinner between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. And I know you kind of talked against all those time frames because
Oh,
it just
this is a fun
depends.
one.
Uh-huh. You go for it.
Um, what does the word breakfast mean? Break the word up.
Break
Break
and fast.
fast.
Yeah.
Fasting from the time you went to sleep to the time you woke up. It is
Uh-huh.
that initial flame on that coal burning train. It's what you
Hmm.
consume. You do water. That's why I said water was my breakfast.
Right. Hmm.
It wasn't, so we don't have breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. No. It's meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hmm.
So like when you reprogram your brain to think this way, then you actually look forward to consuming things. So there is nothing. It's like eat when you feel that you need to,
Hmm.
right? So like for me, I'm so hypersensitive that like even people around me like you need to eat something. So I always keep snacks in my car. I always have Pop-Tarts, things like that, because it's quick, simple sugars,
Hmm.
right? That's not that terrible. Like if you look at it. So for me, I would have my water right when I woke up. So let's say, okay, let's go back to this time frame. It would be because kids had to be to school. What 7:45s? I'd wake up at 6:30 and
Hmm.
drink water,
Hmm.
throw coffee on, make my protein shake, whatever. Get the kids all ready, get them in the car as I'm driving them to school, which has been
Hmm.
an hour later, right?
Hmm.
So between the second and third hour of me being awake, I would have had almost half a gallon of liquid already because I would be drinking my coffee and my protein shake with everything. So like
Hmm.
first meal's down. When I got home, because it took me like an hour and a half round trip to like take everyone to school and then get back home.
Hmm.
But I've already been up for 3 hours and I've already consumed my first thing within that first hour, right? Like hour
Hmm.
one. So, right there. So when I got home is when I would cook like eggs with the cheese and the tortillas. So the meal two is done out of the way and it's 9:30.
Wow.
Then I can go do whatever I need to do because I've been working from home, at least when I was working for other companies, like
Hmm.
2016 through 2020. I worked from home before COVID even did it. Like that was just a thing for me. It
Wow.
was cool. So I
Hmm.
was used to it. I would work, from 9 to, 1, and then I would do my cardio for like my, lunch break or whatever because I have a stair stepper. In fact, oh, it's in the other room now, but I would do stair stepper for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then I would eat again. And that would be the first actual meal that I would eat would be 1:30.
Wow.
If you think about it, because it's like protein shake. And then like my snack was like the little burrito things, which was eggs, cheese, and tortillas. So it really just depends. You know, you got to find what works for you. I've tried, attempted, and succeeded in at least doing like most of the diet fads out there, all the way up until 2018. Because then at that point, I've tried everything. I kind of knew what worked for me.
Okay. Yeah.
So try it, man. Like do a keto thing, do a intermittent fast, do a carb backloading, like, but do it for 60 days and track it. Everybody has a different body type. You have a different digestive type. You have a different blood type. Like what works for me is not going to work for you. But if I can give you some sort of like a background of it, like I ate a lot of cereal, a lot of waffles, a lot of syrup, a lot of bacon, you know, like people are like, you can't do this. You're not going to be able to step on stage. And I'm like, I won second place. I was really happy about that.
There you go. And you should have been. You know, that's a heck of an accomplishment. Yeah, I'll stay away from bacon then because according to research, it's not really good for you. But when you do things the way you do it, it kind of doesn't affect you so much. I mean, I don't know if your intake was a lot when it came to bacon or just a little.
I ate half a package of bacon every day.
So quite a bit of bacon, right?
And I did blood work every 30 days. And I was like, my health was so that's another thing too. You're following research, but have you done your blood work and then went on a meal plan that consisted of bacon every day, and then 30 days after that then did your blood work to see where you're at? Because if your cholesterol levels have dropped, then you should continue eating bacon every day. So it doesn't apply to you, but like you have to go and get the results that are specific to your body, and most people don't do that. So like, yes, research, that's a general consensus. Is it of the world? Is it of a state? Is it of a city? Like where does the research come from? And just because you read it or heard it, whatever, what was the statistics? Was it like bacon is statistically not good, but the control group was like cats?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like do your due diligence and figure, you know, like I'm going to do something if I want to do it, but I'm also like when they ask me like, why do you do that? I'm like, because it works for me.
Absolutely.
Eat more bacon. Eat more bacon. Unless you're vegan, I respect that.
You know, I love bacon.
Vegetarian.
I love bacon, but I do not eat it like you eat it. So, but
used to.
Oh, correction. Like you used to eat it.
Right now I'm on like, I seriously for the last, since I got sick, I got really sick. October 13th, man, it was awful. I pretty much shed all of like the excess weight in my life, not just on my body, but like people in my life, like opportunities, anything that wasn't good for me is what was shed during like my illness that was all over the world, right? That everybody knows that we try not to say on air, right? Because it's taboo, right? I was so sick. I lost like 35 pounds. I like could not get out of bed. Like I turned my phones on. Like I slept for like 6 days straight.
Nice. Wow.
So I was in a state of fasting and ketosis for 6 days because I was sick. And then like, I don't even think I've consumed anything. Have I had anything today? Usually it's like 12 hours after I wake up. But like if I do need something, protein shakes. I'll do protein shakes and like naked drinks or equivalent at a gas station just so I get something. But I do take my supplements in the morning and I'll eat pizza.
All right. So you mentioned exercising earlier and a different way to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of times people can't find the exercise that works for them. Obviously, you found the exercise that works for you, especially with your legs, because of your back. You mentioned the different types of exercises too. Can you feel comfortable expressing those different ways that you exercise?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So most people would do a barbell squat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Freestanding, right? Like you've always seen it, or like with a Smith machine or dumbbells or whatever. But like
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to have like for a standard barbell squat or just leg squat with weight.
Mm-hmm.
Your feet would be pretty much like 10 degrees out, like
Uh-huh.
shoulder width.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do that because my hip flexors and my adductors, like they're tense all the time
Mm-hmm.
because of my back, because of my leg injury and things like that. Like, because I've broken my leg a few times in my life, the same one.
Wow.
So I'd have to do a wide body stance.
Mm-hmm.
So like my legs would be kicked out, and
Mm-hmm.
like at an angle for my feet, and that's what would work for me.
Okay.
And so instead of doing barbell squats for my back, I would do what's called a oh my gosh, hold on, it's are they Highland squats? No, they're you hold a barbell in your hands like this on your chest, and the end of the bar is in a corner, right? And then you landmine squats. They're landmine squats.
Okay.
So I'm still holding the weight above, like my torso, but I'd lean in at an angle. And this actually will teach people how to barbell squat appropriately that have never learned if they start out doing this. So that was something that came naturally later on,
Uh-huh.
that when I was training with people and we would do that, they're like, holy crap, like this actually taught me how to keep my back the way that I need to for the barbell. So landmine squats were the way to go for me. And then next, when I would do like dumbbell squats and, instead of holding them in my hands, I would elevate myself and stand on 2 benches, and I would hold my arms down, and I would hold the top or like the side of a dumbbell, right? And I would just sit into it as I was elevated and let that weight go down. So that would be an elevated dumbbell sumo squat. So I would do the sumo position, which is what it means to have the wide body stance. I would do deadlifts the same way.
Okay.
So that's some of the things I did with legs, but also like a lot of glute exercises. It was kind of taboo for like men to do because it was like that's like those are feminine exercises. I'm like, yeah, but I have very messed up, hips, so I need to do these to strengthen the muscle and the tissue around it. And it ended up making it so my IT band, so that like the thick band on the outside of my legs were so prominent that everyone's like, holy crap, dude, your legs are insane. I had no idea. I was just training that didn't hurt.
Right.
I didn't do it intentionally. I didn't do any research. I just I can't do this. So I'm going to do something that I can do, and I'm seeing results, and I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling good in my body. So I'm going to keep doing it. It ended up like being like new workouts and new like methods of training for people that they adopted. And I'm like, this is pretty neat. And so it was just cool because I was sponsored by a couple of supplement companies. And so I write blogs for them, and I would talk about leg days and training differently. And then like active rest days, which were hard for me. Same thing with cardio, man. Like you don't have to go run. So my favorite cardio in the world, so HIIT, high intensity interval training. This is why I never had to do more than 20 minutes of cardio. I have a stair stepper, right? So I would do it at a regular pace for 1 minute. And then as fast as you possibly can for 30 seconds. And you do that for a duration of 20 minutes. That is the best way to do cardio ever.
Okay.
And that's what I did for an entire 3-4 months to get stage ready. That was it. And
you are seriously right on target with everything that I have here.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, it's like, this reminds me, I just went axe throwing for the first time with a friend a couple weeks ago. I've always wanted to go. Coolest experience. I like hit the target like my second throw. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is how it makes me feel. I hit the target.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. That happened with me with putt golf. I don't do like the serious golf on the 18 holes.
You got a hole in one, didn't you?
I did. It was crazy.
I did that earlier too. Yeah, last time I went, first one I got it. I'm like, no way. Yeah, it's that feeling right now. That's every moment of my life lately. Like since December 1st, my life is just, it's unbelievable, man.
That's great, man. That's great. Absolutely. So I'm sure you had to learn a lot because you sound like you have a great amount of knowledge in just about every subject that we brought up today.
Oh shit! I don't know about that. This is my personal experience, man, and this is all opinion based.
I get it. So as far as learning, sometimes we have to sharpen our minds, and that's part of our health as well. The way I see it, you know, again, going off the research that I came up with,
Okay.
the best time for reading is 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. So the morning is very important. Um, do you read a lot, or do you just
I
go from
study 12 hours
experience?
a day, man. I'll be honest
Okay.
with you. I
Hmm.
read and consume things 24/7. Like I read so much and I listen to things and I love to learn, man. Like I went to college for 7 years.
Hmm.
I have more credits than I know what to do with because I just like learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um Mostly because like whenever you're at a point in life where people like give you grief, it's because you're unaware of something, and so
Hmm.
somebody's correcting you or like letting you know that you're not on the same wavelength and you don't obtain the knowledge necessary for a conversation. And so that's why I'm like, I'm going to look into everything and just be
Hmm.
prepared. So like anything that I'm interested in, I'm just going to dive into it and like go all the way down to like the root of the word and what language it came in. Like I, I went to language school. So like they reverse, they reverse, they teach you how to reverse engineer language to
Wow.
test your ability to learn a new language from a completely different system. And it's a made up language.
Hmm.
And I scored so high. They're like, you can learn anything that you want. And I'm like,
Wow.
really? I went
That's
to do
incredible.
French, right? Because I wanted to. But like,
Hmm.
it's the same thing with anything. So like learning. But the thing is, like, when do you consume content? To me, reading is equivalent to listening to something as long as it's like I'm able to file it in the mental filing cabinet system
Hmm.
in the library in my brain, then it
Hmm.
exists.
Yeah.
If it's pertinent information, that's what I would do. But I don't need it right away. But I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come back to that later. That's cool content. I'm gonna get back to it. So like TikTok has been phenomenal for me,
Oh
right?
wow.
Most people just get on TikTok and they'll just like scroll for whatever. I don't.
Hmm.
I do it with intent. I read Newsbreak. I write for a lot of publications as well under a pen
Hmm.
name. So like as I'm learning things, I'm writing things and sending it out. Like,
Nice. Nice.
it's like this is how you know things is learning. But the thing is, the morning only exists to those that are in an average cycle of life. I'm not. Like
Yeah.
I don't wake up at 6, 7. I woke up at 1 o'clock today, right? I go to
Hmm.
bed at 4 in the morning because I can, and that's what works for me. And that's what, unless I have something that I need to do. So like, I think it would be better to say like, it's best to read after you've been awake and you've consumed XYZ macros. And
Hmm.
then this is when it's good for you because everyone has their own attention language. Right.
Absolutely.
And so
Hmm.
like, I can't sit down and read if my house is a mess. So I have to like get this
So
done so I can
there's
sit down and
so
relax.
it would be like distractions.
Yeah, people will feel guilty if they're reading when there's other things that they could be doing. And so
Hmm.
small victories, it's like, oh, I'm going to feel guilty if I sit here and read this book because I have a family to take care of. Groceries need
Hmm.
to be done, all this, whatever. So it's like, you got to find something that works for you. So that's when you start multitasking. Like, let's say
Hmm.
you do go to the gym during lunch because the kids are at school, like you have your lunch break. So you would read while doing cardio at the gym. So
Hmm.
you're like double like rewarding yourself, right? And so
Right.
then you have that instant gratification and you have that validation for yourself and you feel better about yourself because you did something. You fed your mind, you fed your body, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it just depends. A lot of people like to read when they go to sleep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what works for you at the end of the day in all of these, it's like everyone should be doing this. You should be feeding your mind, your soul, your body, your emotions, your and feelings. You
Mhm.
should be feeding your own ego. And I'm going to say this: like your own ego is your own perception of yourself and who you are now and who you think you are, and then who you want to be. That is a healthy ego. You need to feed that ego and tell yourself like, fuck yeah, I'm a bodybuilder. Fuck yeah, like I'm a good parent. Yes, I'm
Mhm.
this. Yes, I'm this. Whatever. And in terms of affirmations, but you need to tell yourself these things.
Mhm.
Don't hear it from someone else. You need to know that you are these things. You need to be certain and worthy of those words that you say. Find what you're lacking through trial and error. right? This is when
Mhm.
it's great to like turn to other people and listen to other people
Mhm.
and take it as a perception and opinion and not a personal attack on you, your character, and your ego, because everyone has one. They even
Yeah.
have a shadow ego, right? Like everyone is egotistical because you are having your own first person experience.
Boom.
So, yes, I agree with you, but we need to expand on that.
Absolutely.
So, that's what that
And you just completely nailed the next section
Stop
with
it.
that
No,
response.
no, man. You keep saying that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm
I,
sorry.
I would show it to you, but you probably can't see it because I write so small.
And I'm
But
blind because I have macular degeneration. That's how I knew you're talking about it. Like it literally is hereditary, and they're like,
oh
your
man,
your vision is good, but you have blurry vision. So I wear
right.
glasses, so everything's not like triple vision.
Hmm.
That's
So yeah,
that's
you
what it
just
is.
literally ran through that whole next section. So thank you. I appreciate
I'm
it.
sorry, man. I
Oh
didn't
no,
mean to.
no,
I'm not
no,
trying to
that's
see your
perfect.
thought. I'm usually
That's
on the other end of the podcast, so this is nice.
yeah, yeah, this is perfect, man.
This is very good. I
And,
appreciate it, man.
good. I'm glad you're having a good time with this. But I wanted you to know I held this uh, particular episode for you because I
Really?
just knew that. Yeah, I knew that you'd be good for it, and
Oh
you're
man,
just
that means a lot.
yeah, you're killing it, man. So I got some questions I want to ask you to wrap this up,
Yeah, let's go.
and it's kind of like directed towards everybody, but
Yeah.
we'll use you since you're here.
Okay.
How do you feel today versus how you felt yesterday? And you can go back as far as you want to.
Okay.
Um,
So how do I feel today versus how did I feel yesterday?
mhm.
Okay. Um Great question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Uh-huh.
asking me that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we realize like we don't really ask other people how they really are.
Hmm.
And, and you just gave a comparison time frame too. So that's even
Hmm.
cooler.
Yeah.
Um Today I feel 100% better than I did yesterday as
Hmm.
far as being more put together, more organized,
Hmm.
more in my own body that I do admire and adore of the person that I am today. I had to let go of a lot of stuff, but like I'm starting to do things for me because
Hmm.
of me. Like
Hmm.
I got my dreads put in yesterday. I got my hair cut. That's why I was late. I got my beard trimmed because I'm doing things for myself, and I've been doing things for everyone else for a long time, and there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. No
Hmm.
complaints. But
Right.
it's just I love helping people,
Hmm.
right? But I like overindulge in aiding others in their pursuit of their goals and dreams, and
Hmm.
I am so used to like I would do anything for somebody if I had the opportunity, and I'm going to do the best that I can because I enjoy it, not because
Hmm.
anyone asked me to. So now I'm like, okay, we've been doing this for long enough. What are we going to do for us?
Hmm.
So like, I have my own house now, and so like I'm decorating it the way that I want to,
Right. Right.
and so I've been like spending time on like cleaning up, organizing my house, but I also had to like rebuild my car. Like it's just like this whole makeover, and I'm like, so yesterday I felt like just kind of puzzled. I was puzzled yesterday. I didn't have a sense of direction or belonging. I I believe that most people in my life assume that I'm so busy to the point that they just don't reach out, or like they're like,
Hmm.
oh, he's got enough people reaching out. And the truth is, like, I have four phone lines,
Huh.
four, right? Because both of my watches have a phone number attached to them, even though
Uh-huh.
they're synced to my phones, and I have two phones. Um, yeah, I'm busy doing things and I hold space for people, but like it I had a few people reach out to me today and
Hmm.
invite me to do things because they
Hmm.
wanted me there. And to me that's a reflection of like the work that I'm doing for me by doing these things that
Uh-huh.
like I people well even this podcast, right? Like I have become a desirable energy as myself rather
Boom.
than a desirable energy because someone wants to accomplish something because of what I can do or what
Absolutely.
my resources are, right? And so I've kind
Hmm.
of pulled back a lot, and I'm like, you know what? I deserve to have the life that I desire, and I'm worthy of it. And so every day I've been doing just a little bit more, just a little bit more every day, right?
Hmm.
For
Yeah.
myself. And so like I feel so good and today, like I feel joyous. It's my favorite
Good.
word right now.
Yeah.
I feel joyous, and I'm experiencing a sense of peace and bliss because I'm in a mindset now that like I made it, right? Like all of my
Right.
goals
Right.
and dreams in life literally came true.
Hmm.
I won a lottery, which was really cool.
Nice.
Uh, I do, unfortunately, like I'm dealing with a lot of medical stuff, and
Hmm.
they gave me a time clock, which is cool. And so I'm just like, I have no reason to hold hostility in my heart anymore. Like I have a time limit to get my life's work done, and I have
Wow.
everyone in my corner. Like, dude, I get to film a movie. Like
Yeah.
my screenplay is
Yeah.
accepted by the Utah and Sundance Film Alliance groups. They're just doing it because it's so amazing of a story. And I had no idea. I was doing a book, like I was just writing it down as a journal, and I was
Hmm.
talking about it because after I helped with that, right? So I've got that going for me, and then like I don't have to worry about anything else. And I'm addressing everything that has ever happened now
Hmm.
as an example that for the next people behind me,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna leave a legacy for my children and their
Hmm.
their kids and stuff as an example of someone who walks with humility that has only failed at everything. I failed everything except for life.
Wow. You just put the stamp on it, buddy.
So learn from my mistakes, but also I'm gonna like leave a guidebook and a handbook for you guys
Hmm.
that when you encounter these things, because I have seen a lot,
Hmm.
uh, here's my recommendations, and this is why, and this is what you need to do in contact, whatever, and this is how you do things, and there's processes in play. Everything needs to be dress right, do your research, blah, blah, whatever. That's the point of it. So I'm like, people are gonna show up the way that I show up for myself every day, and I fucking showed up for myself today.
Yeah, you did.
I slept good last night. I woke up. I like actually told myself, I'm like, I'm gonna do these 3 things today. Because a friend of mine told me a while ago, she even gave me a book. It's like accomplish 2 small things every day.
Hmm.
When you're at your lowest of lows, when you're dark, when you're sad, when you're whatever, like do these things. What makes you feel good, right?
Hmm.
For me, it used to be as simple as like reaching, like when I was in the worst state of mind, to be honest,
Hmm.
I would force myself to reach out to 5 people to tell them how much they meant to me.
Wow. Wow.
That's what I did to get through that. I
Wow.
would reach out to 5 people and tell them how grateful I was for them.
Hmm. That's amazing, man. That is amazing. You are
but
you.
yeah, so that was, well, I got a little emotional there.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, um, that's life. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Sure is.
Brofiki, I really, really, really appreciate you, man. Um, and I'm glad I kept pursuing this moment. And
Thank you.
everything that happened today was spectacular. And it feels good um, that we had this episode. How do you feel, man? How do you feel?
I'm worth the wait. That's how I feel.
You are
I'm fucking
definitely.
worth it. I am. And
You
you've
are.
been trying to, well, you've been trying to do this for a long time. And
And,
it's not that I didn't respect your time or anything. It's just like, I'm
you're a
like,
busy
yes,
man.
but
You're a busy
no,
man.
no, it's not that. It's just, I wasn't in the right energy or state of mind to be in your world. And I'm not going to affect other people around me if
Hmm.
I'm not there, and if I'm not fully present and showing up for myself like I did
Hmm.
today.
Hmm.
You deserve the best version of me for what you're trying to create. And I'm honored that you wanted to speak with me. So
Absolutely,
thank you.
man. Thank you. Any last words or any last thoughts?
All right, I'll give you my intro or my outro. My outro.
Okay, okay, okay.
Let me gather my composure here for a second.
Do what you got
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. Let's do like it's 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. How about that? I'm gonna do something a little different, right? Because
Okay,
this is normally what I do on my channels.
okay.
On other platforms, it's fun because like every platform you get to be somebody else.
Hmm.
So some people know me from TikTok, some people know me from the gym, some people know
Hmm.
me from writing blogs or like the newspapers and things like that.
Hmm.
um but like honestly, it's just like every day you can be anything you want to be,
Hmm.
and you can cycle through that every single day. um my thing is this: Thank you for surviving 100% of your worst moments. So you can be here today. So you could show up for yourself today. So you could show up for me today, selfishly. I'm proud of you,
Boom.
man. Like, I'm proud
Hey,
of you for doing this and pursuing something that feeds your soul, fuel your soul, your mind, your body, your heart. And if podcasting is that, I love that. And for everybody listening, man, like, thank you guys for surviving 100% of your worst moments, showing up today, because we don't have bad days.
right,
We only
right.
have good days. Bad things happen on good days. It does not make it a bad day. It's still a good day. And you survived because you failed at everything except life. And here you are. Here you are. You made it.
Absolutely.
You crossed the finish line. You made it. You're here right now. How incredible is that, man? That's so incredible. You know? So find a reason to smile. Be the reason somebody smiles or has an orgasm, or both if you're lucky enough to do so. But thank you.
Hey,
I
that was
appreciate you. And I'm out.
that was beautiful, man. I appreciate this whole episode, man. It was great. Um, I want to send a shout out to the sponsors: JG's Lounge, Golden Diamond Productions, TGBTG, and thanks to Leia's question for getting us going in the right direction. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, Brofiki, the hardest man to track down in the world. and I really had fun with this. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and please come back again later.
This was the experience, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you. Until
All
next time.
right. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, that's life.